In a desperate attempt to come up with an equation during an exam, the student tries this formula right here. V has these units, X has these units, A has these units, and I should use a different color for all of these. Let's see if this is correct. So if I look at this, V squared equals A times X. The V, this V squared, is going to be M over S, right? I'm going to put that in parentheses. And notice that it was squared. So all I'm doing is substituting. Okay, the A is gonna go in here, the X is gonna go in here. We said that the A, the green one, is meter per second squared. So I'm gonna put that in here because that's A. And then the last one is the X, and that's gonna be replaced by M. And let's put it over 1. So now if we look at this, let's look at the right side. Just the right side, okay? Just the right side. So I have M times M, that's M squared. S squared times 1 is S squared. Just multiplying these across. Now there's nothing to cancel because it's not diagonal. Okay, so this is the right side. This is the right side. Let's look at the left side. When I have this power on the outside, it's going to be applied to everything inside of it. Okay, so I have, or if you rather see it, it means I'm going to multiply this thing by itself twice. Okay, in other words, it's going to be M times S, M over S times M over S. M times M at the top gives me M squared. S times S on the bottom gives me S squared. This is the left side. Notice that the left side and the right side are the same thing. Okay. So what we're doing is we're demonstrating that the equation is true, meaning that the units check out, they're the same. We're not getting different units. We're not getting an imbalance. Okay. You might want to review this problem a few times to make sure you get it. It's not something that we're going to do regularly, but if you understand the concept, then you will be better prepared to do some of these problems. Okay. Problem 6. You know what? Do I want to skip problem 6? Let's skip problem 6. Problem 7. That's fun. Okay. I want to do a few of these with you, and then I would like you to try a few of them out yourself. This is really good stuff. This is great, by the way, to work with groups. So maybe get together with some people, form a group, text each other, try some of these out. It's good for you. Okay. But here's the game. If I see a big A, I can replace it with big C over little s. Okay. If I see a big V, I can replace it with a big J over C. Now these are all real units, by the way. This is an ampere, is a coulomb per second. This is a volt, is a joule per coulomb. This is a Newton, is a kilogram meter per second square. And by the way, you don't need to know what these units are. Just know that we're substituting, right? Okay. So these are all free. These are all freebies. You don't have to prove these. Okay. You can use these. So you have 5 things to use. So for example, if I want to prove part A, I want to prove that V is J over A times S. There's a few ways to do this. Let's go ahead and start off with this right here, right? We'll start off with V is J over C. Because you'll notice that I have the V and I have the J. But somehow I have to make this C look like an AS. Now obviously for this problem, this is not going to help us because it doesn't have a C or an A. This doesn't have a C or an A. This has an A but no C and no S. We just use this. Use your algebra skills to go ahead and manipulate this. So for example, I know that A is C over S. But if I want to get the C by itself, it's being divided by S. And the opposite of division is multiplication. So if I multiply both sides by S, this will cancel out. And I get C is A times S. Ah, snap. So what I could do now is if I replace that C with A times S, I get what I'm looking for. Okay, so the idea is you're manipulating things. I'll be very honest with you. We're spending some time with units because if you are a master at units, then there's some problems that you can solve even better. You'll have better intuition in the future when it comes to solving all these physics problems. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is, if you want to pause me at this point, I want you to go ahead and do this one. Okay. So pause, try it out. There's a few ways to do this one, but let's do the way you probably did it. You probably used this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and start knocking out this J. So if I look at this one right here, and if I get the J by itself, I'd multiply both sides by C. So I can get J is V times C. Let me redraw this so that you see it's like that, because I want you to focus on this right here, C over A. So notice we got the V, right? We got this V. Now I need to make this C over A. This needs to become an S. If you recall from over here, we have that relationship already. A is equal to C over S. If it helps, we could do the little shortcut of doing cross multiplying, right? Or just switching these around. So if I switch this one with this one, I get little s equals C over A. Now you notice that this C over A is a C over A. So I can replace C over A with S. So I end up getting V times S, which is what was there originally. So take a second to think about it. And if you did a different way, good job. You know, the more ways you can do this, the better for you. Okay. Most of what we do in physics is not going to be this, but the units are always there. And we do end up using them quite a bit. My challenge to you now is going to be keep using this stuff right here. Here comes a new challenger. We're going to use this one as well. We're going to add this one into the mix. Okay. And your job is to prove all of these, but you don't have to prove them all at a time. So for example, you might want to prove this first, or you might want to prove, you know, this one, right? So you might want to prove that T is this, or you might want to prove that this, let's see, too many thises. You might want to prove that this is this, right? For example, you might proving that this is a pretty easy one, right? You already see the kilograms and the seconds in place. There's a C and an A, so you'd probably end up using that one here to replace it. So you're going to want to prove these, but not all at the same time. Just, you know, do one at a time. You're going to show how this can become this, or you might want to show an easier one to do would be to show that this is this. Notice it has the m squared. Okay. Give it a shot. Okay, you might want to pause. I'm not going to show you how to do these. I want to leave them up to you, but it's a good challenge. You need to be challenged. You need to struggle a bit. Give it a try, and if you get all these, you should feel very proud of yourself.